Well, hello everyone. This is Tim from Retirement is Underrated. I was just watching a live stream of another video, so I'll give it a couple minutes. Hopefully, y'all will join me in a second. Got my army hat, covers the other stuff. Got a new haircut. Hopefully, some folks will join me tonight. It's been a busy weekend. A lot going on. A lot going on. So I'm hoping some folks. Hey, Simply Debbie Sue. Hi, how are you? I hope all is well. I'm loving watching your channel, your poem, and like your latest video. You were in, I think, your living room doing a video where you had a poem, and that was great. I really appreciate your thoughts and the things you share. CJ Anime, hey, yeah, the weekend was busy, my friends. Oh my goodness, there was a lot going on. Oh my goodness, yeah. Tim was a busy guy. Uh, Honestly, I don't know if you took a look at the channel, but I think I've got one, two, three, like four videos. I have this live. I have drive into. We did a lot of things. We went to a place called Tannersville, Vermont. We went to the Hildene in Vermont. My wife's childhood friend came up to visit us at our house, and it was wonderful. They've known each other since they were, I think, in grade school and in Walpole, Massachusetts. So they've known each other since then. She's from the Cape. Let's see, thanks. I'm going to be catching up. Yeah, okay, well, thank you so much just for watching and looking at the videos. Simply Debbie Sue. I'm still encouraging my wife to watch all of that. I want her to be writing and doing stuff. I asked her if she would be on the podcast tonight and or stream tonight, and she declined. She was in her bathrobe already, relaxing from the day. So she's still working. So we'll cut her a little break. She's still in the working world. As I said in the other videos, I am a kept man, and I am enjoying that. So we've been a lot of things going on, guys. Honestly, since the last time we talked, I have some different things I wanted to share. And on the theme of last week, I wanted to kind of go over. I want to kind of highlight different channels of what. Yeah, I'm going to keep on encouraging with that. Absolutely, she's awesome. And frankly, once you guys see her, you won't want anything to do with me. You see, forget about it. As they say in New York, forget about it. Yeah. So she's incredible. She's a godly woman. I'm very blessed to have her. We had a lot going on. Oh my goodness. It makes my head spin in circles. And yes, I am wearing the red suspenders with the orange road cone shirt. This way you see me coming from a mile away. You can't miss me. Look out. Retirement and Underrated is coming through. For better or for worse. I hope it's for better. But anyway, yeah, CG anime. Yeah, keep on getting. I'm blessed to have the subscribers that I have. I watched oh gosh, the new Retirement Me. I think that's the name of his channel. I'll highlight him at some point. I want to really look at a couple, I think probably two channels, highlight them each week, and I'll kind of make through. And every one of you probably will be highlighted at some point. So if I don't get to you right away, it doesn't mean that you weren't important. It just means that I'm going to get to you. But I did want to highlight this week the couple that. So we went to. Let's see, where do I start? Well, a friend came up from Cape Cod and spent the weekend with us. Let's see. Saturday we went to the Hildene Museum. I don't know how many of you know what the Hildene Museum is. It's actually Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, actually had a summer home in Vermont. It's called the Hildene Lincoln Family Home, and it's in Hildene, Vermont, not too far from us, but we went up there. Beautiful, beautiful view of the mountains. I'll be posting a video about that. maybe I'll break it in because it's so much. I mean, it's just such a large estate. You have this huge home. I mean, if there's not 8 bedrooms or so, give or take, huge foyer, grand staircase, and then you go out the back door, and there's like the European gardens where they have multiple gardens broken out, and then go into the back of that. There's a big arch, and then it overlooks the Vermont mountains. And I'll have some of that on the video coming up. But frankly, I over the past weekend I've shot so much video footage. I've done it. We've been to Tannersville, New York, which I just posted a video. And it's a good thing. Family's an awesome thing, because I posted the video and I said to my daughter, I said, I'm glad I edited that down to 9 minutes. And then she said, well, why does it say 22 minutes then? And I'm like, delete, 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 delete. And so, I had to leave it off. I forgot because on the editor that I had audio files off towards the end that I forgot to delete. I'm like, ah! So I was like, okay, take it off, delete it off of Facebook, delete it off this, man, the torpedoes, all this stuff. And so I got to repost it. So that's the 9 minute version, not the extended version where you fall asleep. But that's Tannersville. It's a wonderful place, and I'm actually going to post a video just on the antique shop and curiosity shop that we stopped at. It's wonderful, very expensive, beyond my budget, but wonderful to go to. And so I wanted to break it up into tiny little videos. And the road that we drove to Tannersville. So that was Sunday that we drove out to Tannersville, which is probably about an hour away. We stopped at a farm market, but the road literally goes through the Catskills, and it winds and it winds and it winds. And there's brick walls, and then you overlook a huge mountain. And then you take an extreme turn. At one point, I point the camera towards one side because there's a waterfall on one side. And I remember going there with a friend, and as we were backing up traffic, uh, I was trying to shoot pictures of it. So it's a wonderful spot. I think it's on Route 23A through the Catskills, New York. But Tannersville is a wonderful little community. All sorts of interesting people there. So we looked through this place, which I'll post a video on, and we'll do that. So I've got that. I actually had it. Thank goodness I edited it down. It would have been long. I don't think anybody in the free world would have watched it. I had about 30 minutes on the timer, and I'm like, ain't nobody going to watch that. So I got it down to 9 minutes. Hopefully, it's not too long. So anyway, be sure to let me know what you think about it. But then of course, let's see, I did a few other videos. We actually had, of all things, my wife called out to me, Tim, come look at what's at the front window. And there's a praying mantis on our front window. The thing was probably about like that big. And so it was huge. And our friend caught an angle on one side and we got it on the other. It was gargantuan. So I figured a spooky steam would be appropriate for that. So I put that on the shorts. Oh goodness, what else? Let's see, that, and then the Hildine, and then in between my daughter had car problems. Yeah. And so she broke down when I was finally tired of Sunday night. She called and said, Dad, I got car problems. She has a 2014 Toyota Corolla that I gave her, and it had, let's see, spark plug cylinders and compression issues, and it would barely run. So I had to have. Luckily, she was in the neighborhood, so I went out to her, and then I drove in with her as she got it towed. But we just had it fixed, and so of course, I got it fixed for her. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, how are you guys doing? How was your weekend? I'll talk more about my weekend in a minute, but how was yours? CG Anime, Simply Sue. How was your weekend? You guys do anything interesting you want to share about? Give you a second there. Pardon me for the clarity of my voice, but okay. Once I see your chats come up, I'll. Oh, here we go. Had a lazy week. Well, a lazy weekend sounds all right to me about now. I came back exhausted. I think I sat in this chair. I came in and sat in. I read over my email and I went, and I was gone. All my wife could see is the back of my head tipped down, and I was gone. I was sound asleep. So yeah, it was a busy weekend, but we were working on the house, doing a bunch of different things. The Hildene Museum. So let me explain a little bit about that. So that's the Robert Todd Lincoln Museum or Family Home Estate. It's in Hildene, Hildene, Vermont. So look it up if you get a chance. It's wonderful. There's a wonderful home and then the gardens that go out the back. So we went there originally in the spring. So we got to see all the lovely flowers blooming. And then we went just recently where we got to see some of the fall colors. So on the grounds, of course, there's different things. There's actually sheep. Oh, yeah. There's a goat farm. And that's actually one of the videos that I posted. My ride, I don't think I communicated effectively enough, but one of the videos I posted about my car ride over to the goat farm, this cart, I think it has like 3 rows of seats and then it has a back row of seats facing backwards. So as you're driving forward, you're looking backwards. And it's not like, I don't think there was any seatbelts or I didn't notice any. And so I'm looking backwards and there's this little post that goes up and around. And I've got the Vulcan death grip on this thing because I'm not going to go anywhere. And of course, it's going fast. And of course, this kid was in a rush, and it was going fast. I think that boy was going about 25 miles an hour. Now, if you're not a motorcycle guy, or you're not, and you're going backwards, things look different when you go backwards. I'm just saying, going backwards, 25 miles an hour, through a path, through the woods, and I was scared. I thought, oh Lord, please help me. I'm going to fall off this cart onto my bum. I mean, literally, you hold onto that, it's a step, and then ground. I mean, there was no safety room. I mean, if you stop short, I'm gone. So it was quite the adventure. And that's what I considered my life choices of the decisions that I made. It's like, you dummy, what consider you, why in the world did you consider jumping on the back of this thing? But I did, and it was fun. And we went to the goat farm. There was a goat farm there. We took pictures of flowers. It was lovely. Got to see some Mennonite folk visiting the place. It was just a lovely, lovely time. And then we drove back into Bennington, Vermont, where we stopped at this wonderful place. Had a wonderful thing in the center of Bennington. And we had, and they actually, it was nice because we drove there and we thought we were witness a protest of some sort going on in center of Benetton, but they were having a thing for Charlie Kirk, which I thought was very nice. So it was very peaceful, no troubles. It was nice to see. So we had a nice dinner. We drove back, had a wonderful time, slept in good. And so, yeah, I'm still going through the video, guys, of everything that we did over the weekend. I actually ran out of room on my iCloud storage with all of the video footage that I had. And I still have to go through more. I probably have a video inside the shop and still inside of Tamisville I'll have to get out. And then I'll have to go inside the Hildene Museum. And by the way, inside the Hildene Museum, there's a big organ. So if you go inside the Hildene, there's a staircase that goes up. So it goes up and then around and then up into the upstairs. And at the middle ground of the stairs, there's a organ, a pipe organ. So there's, let's see, one set of pipes sitting out, then another coming in, and then the pipes on the inner end set facing out. And so they play that every so often. And boy, does it fill up the whole house with organ sounds. And it's just fantastic. And then, of course, you look out up on the grounds and you just see the hills of Vermont. Literally steep hills. I mean, they go from 0 to 100 in like a second. Very steep hills, lots of colors. Vermont is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous place. Did I say gorgeous? Gorgeous place. Wonderful drive. We didn't hit it at the peak with all the foliage. I'm hoping to get more videos out of the foliage because it's popping this year. In fact, this year in my backyard, I'm seeing a lot of foliage come up in the back, a lot of things in my yard. So, yeah, it's been a wonderful weekend. Now I got to catch up. All the summer leaves have fallen around the yard, so I got to get out there tomorrow with my blower, a little still blower, and then blow the leaves off. And then I got a big pile of dirt, got about 3 yards of dirt that I'm going to put against the house, and then plant some grass seed and put hay over it and get it ready to grow. So let's see. CG Anime said, sometimes I accomplish big things over the weekend, and other times I'm mostly just for like, I like the relaxing part. Honestly, I was dying. I was ready for a little, honestly, I was ready for a little snooze cruise. So, yeah, it's funny, but it's a wonderful thing being retired. Been watching a lot of different channels. It's incredible. I'll have to share about some of them coming up, but one of them talked about just the different, retirement is kind of like a, this one guy that I watch, I forget, I'll have to post it on another one, I'm forgetting his name now, but he talked about is if I'm working part-time in retirement, am I really retired? I said, well, if you want to work in retirement, you do whatever you want. That's our time. It's not work like you're working because you have to. It's because you're working because you choose to. And what I wrote on the comment to him is that, retirement is kind of like in a way, it kind of reminds me of a recipe book. The old Betty Crocker recipe books. There's tons of recipes, and tons of different categories of different types of recipes. You can do recipe for beef, chicken, pork, fish. You can do desserts, you can do appetizers, you can do this, you can do that, blah, 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 blah. And retirement's like that. You can do all sorts of combinations. It's not one size fits all. It's what is right for you in retirement. What do you dream of? What is important for you in retirement? For this guy Ron, he's working part time. It gives him an outlet. It gives him a social aspect. He's a single guy, and for him, it gives him a social outlet. Um, for me, I do other things. I work around the house. I get things ready. Maybe eventually we'll move and go down south. We're in the upstate of New York. I look forward to the day when my wife is retired. She did steal it. She robbed the cradle. I am 3 years older than her, so there you go. So truth be told, but I'm retired. She's still working. I'm a kept man, as I keep on saying. But and I love it. But I love being retired. I love not having the anvil of work hanging over me and having the freedom to choose. Retirement is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to recreate yourself and to do whatever you want to do. For Steve's retirement corner, he's working. He's trying to figure out whirly gigs, and he does his gardens. For Buzz retirement garage, it's something different. For Effie's corner, it's something different. For Simply Debbie Sue, it's something different. She has wonderful stories, Simply Debbie Sue, that she shares on Fridays. And I just start watching them. They're wonderful. I appreciate them so much. And there's so many different combinations for retirement. So what do you guys think? I mean, what are some of the things you're enjoying if you're retired, if you're not? I think we've only got two, CJ and Simply Debbie Sue. Maybe there's more, but what do you think? What do you think about what I've talked about? What are some of the things that you look forward to in retirement? What are the things that you want to do? What are the things that you think makes retirement a successful journey? What gives you joy? What gives you peace? What makes you happy? Um, it doesn't. Just because it's something I don't do, doesn't mean it's not awesome. That's what makes it so great. It makes it awesome. I think of Nancy, who joined us the last couple times. She's got a different channel. She's in Western Tennessee, and she's pursuing all sorts of different things. Check out her channel. Go if you don't know who she is. I think I have her on my channel as recommended channel. If not, I will post that. So, any other thoughts that you guys have? Feel free to share anything you want to talk about. Any questions for me that you have? Okay, that doesn't matter, CJ. What do you dream of doing? Uh, what do you want to do when you do retire, or do you want to retire? Maybe for you, it's a combination platter. Maybe it's part time work. Maybe it's part time retirement. You know, again, as the longer I'm going, I find that we have this certain mindset of what retirement is. It's not the same for everybody. Um, it's different for every one of us. I'm hoping to share some videos, and part of the desire, let's see, simply I think it's a slower pace of not, yes, 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 and yes. Uh, a slower pace of not always being rushed. When I was a software developer, it was you would keep in time. I got up at a certain time. We had our meetings, and then we had our meetings at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and anything could happen, and you could work probably late. And I could not stand it. Uh, I love the slower pace. Now, I'm kind of, for myself, my daughter still lives at home. She graduated not community college. She graduated college, a 4-year college, as a graphic design student, and she's looking for a job now. So, although I'm retired, I'm also home, working on getting the home fixed so that we can hopefully find a different place eventually, and also support my daughter as she's looking for a job in her graphic design career. So we're not quite there in what I call the dream state of retirement. I still bum a ride. I'm without a car. She's got my car, and my son's over in Europe doing missionary work, and so we're not quite at that point where I would consider us full time retired. I'm retired, but my wife isn't, and my kids are in kind of transition, figuring out stuff. So let's see. CJ said, doing video is something that feels like a job to me, even though I don't make money off of it. When I run out of things to do, videos on, I could retire from it. Yes, I could start doing videos in October 20. Let's see. I started doing videos in October 2023 because it had been something I had dreamed of for years. I had no idea how long I would do videos for. Yeah, I I kind of fell into this video thing. I started watching Buzz and Steve, and finally they started saying, "Well, why don't you create something?" And I finally got off the pot and started fishing, and I tried it. So for all it's worth, you can blame them for getting me started. But I love it. Honest to goodness, I love it. Why? Because for one, if at the very least, and I saw another guy talk about it on his channel. He said if nobody watches it, even if it's just for my kids, that someday they can watch and they could see what Dad was doing, and they could learn a little bit more of the history of what Dad was about and what he enjoyed. That'd be wonderful. And in doing this, I've been exposed to such a larger community with folks that are doing all sorts of things. and been so encouraging. And the creative juices start flowing. It's funny. I started thinking about, oh, I could do a video of this. I literally have a spreadsheet off on the computer here of about 40, 50 different ideas, and I just keep on jotting them down. There's tons of things I want to share. Some will float like a lead sinker and probably won't get any views. Some will probably get a couple views. I don't know. And that's okay. I have to check my motivation at the door too. What am I doing it for? And just the sense of community has been wonderful for me, and the support from the YouTube creators and folks like yourself who encourage me. I look forward to this, guys. I really do. It's wonderful. It's been a great sense of community for me. So I'll keep on creating. And let's see, simply Debbie said, I like having time to enjoy my hobbies or even find new hobbies and spend quality time with family and friends without feeling like you always have to schedule time. Yes, quality time. This is our time for quality time. Uh, and not scheduling time. Now, I always have to keep in mind that my kids are young; they're in their 20s, so they're starting out in their working career. So my availability doesn't quantify as what they're available to talk to me with, but that's okay. I'll take any time with them I got. But I long to be spend time with their wife. And even meeting this couple, and I'm going to talk for a few minutes, but about this couple that I met in Devon. So I was at the Hildy, and I was going up to an observatory, which was uh, it was like a telescope observatory, and it had a telescope. And so I was walking up there, and then I saw this couple with a camera, like a camera that you would use for recording YouTube. And I said, I just figured I'd ask, what do I got to lose? I said, by any chance, do you guys do YouTube videos? And they said, yes. And that was Sulky and Vicky, and they're from the Wild Mile Wanderers. And they're linked in the description of this video, so you could just click on them later. But they're a wonderful younger couple, military couple, who retired already, and they're traveling around doing videos. In fact, we had parked next to the van. So the van that you may see on their channels, we actually parked next to. It's a huge thing. It's wonderful. But I got to talk with them, and I said, do you mind if I just interview for the channel? Because I really want to promote anybody who's doing a YouTube channel, and not that I'm looking for anything in return, guys, but if I can pass on the kindness that was passed to me, I want to do that. So, I put the link in the description. There's a short little video introducing who they are. And it was wonderful meeting them. And then also the other person that I wanted to highlight in today's discussion is Robert's active retirement. Robert, he's not on the stream tonight, but Robert's active retirement, the link is in the description. He's been wonderful. And he's talking, he's a gentleman probably about 12 or 14 years my senior. But he's been wonderful. I've gained so much knowledge from him. He did a video about seniors who are active and playing sports in their retirement. He lives in a 55 plus community, and they have senior guys in their 80s playing softball, underhanded pitch softball. And then they have a walking club, and they have all these different things. And Robert's active retirement has talked about this, and he's also talked about the 55 plus community that lives in. So it's been educational. It's been wonderful. So those two channels, check them out if you can. They're wonderful. They've inspired me. So MH08. He came over from Jen. Oh, did you come over from the real estate stream? Thank you so much. Wow. I didn't mean to drag anybody away from her, but or I don't think I did, but thank you for joining us. I love watching Jen. Jen has a real estate channel. She's out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. And I grew up on the Cape, so I'm very familiar with that area. And she's very informative. She's very well researched. So if you have any real estate questions, I'm probably going to highlight her channel in the coming weeks. But she's wonderful. A lot of good information, you know. So I would highly recommend her. And so just keep on watching the live stream. So we get to her channel as well. And let's see, CJ says, I think channels that give out kindness like yours are underrated and so well, thank you, CJ. You know, I just want to give back what I've been given. You know, and I always have to keep myself in check because you can always get competitive and say, oh, how many viewers, how many views, and all that stuff. But, you know, why did I start in the first place? I just want to express myself. And you know, the new retired me talked about it wonderfully, you know, and he talked about, you know, his channel and the typical YouTube uh, channel, what it looks like and what his did. And it was just a handful of videos that he did that went viral. And, you know, that's what kind of launched his channel. But typically he doesn't get a lot of views on some things. On his photography channel, he gets next to nothing. Maybe he makes $15 a month. But he's wonderful and he's talented. He's in Kentucky, in Chattanooga, Kentucky. And I'll probably have a highlight of his channel at some point. But he's wonderful. But it was a good check for me to see, you know, okay, what's realistic? You know, because I have to keep my feet and my brain in check. So, you know, it's good stuff. So, you know, it's a wonderful journey. I'm so excited that I'm part of this. You know, my family thinks I'm crazy. Not my immediate family with my wife and kids, but my brothers. I'm a part of a family of 5 boys. I'm the youngest of the boys. My father's been long gone since 1983. He was in the Second World War. My mom's been gone since 2007. So, yeah, one of those last of the baby boomers. So I'm a boomer. My name is Tim, and I'm a boomer. One of the last ones, but a couple more years left to me. But it's been a wonderful journey. So, guys, I see we're at 32 minutes, but I just, you know, some of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. I'll be here next Tuesday. Spread the word. You know, we'll be here, and I'll be highlighting some more channels. Be sure to check them out in the description. Let them know that you heard of their channel from me, and just, you know, keep on watching. And as you comment, you know, let me know of any ideas that you would like me to talk about. Maybe there's something you want to know about me that you don't know about. Or maybe there's something that you want to know. How did I make it to retirement? How did I get to enjoy retirement? I'm going to be doing those type of videos too. So I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you immensely. So thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. And again, I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night. Simply Debbie Sue. I'll be watching in your channel. You know I'm going to be watching your channel and hearing your stories. I look forward to them. And best wishes to all of you. Have a great rest of the week until we see each other again. Best wishes. Bye-bye.